The highly anticipated battle between David Morrell and David Benavidez is finally over, and here are the pros' reactions.
Morrell's a hell of a fighter, Benavidez hell of a fighter, and proud of both guys going in there, giving the fans, a big fight. That's what it's about. The best fighting the best. Two guys who don't like each other, they get in there, they settle it like men. What more could you ask for?
It's interesting because one of Morrell's cornermen, Bob Santos, told me yesterday in the media room, if David can keep the fight right in front of him within a tight range, if he can have a straight-on angle to go at Benavidez and try to catch him with quick shots upstairs, he'll have a chance to win the fight. And I think that in the late rounds, you could see that was good thinking. But what he didn't have was any way of defending effectively against Benavidez's roundhouse shots upstairs and to the body.
Yeah, bro, it was easier than I thought, to be honest with you. I thought it was gonna be tougher. I thought it was gonna be tougher to hit. He was tough to fucking knock down and knock out. I had him hurt a lot of times, but I just had to go back to the drawing board.
Hey, man, it was a good fight, man. Especially the last two rounds were really good in the early rounds, I mean, bro, Benavidez's pressure was strong, man. It was a good fight, real good fight.
Yeah, of course, Canelo's not going to want to fight. Canelo didn't want to fight Boo Boo. He didn't want to fight David Morrell. He doesn't want to face nobody. The only fighter that Canelo Albert wants to see fight is either too old or too young that don't have experience. Those are the only ones. He would not face the Mexican monster. I gotta go watch it. In my opinion, I was turning around. I think it was more like off balance. But that's exciting, when somebody, David fucking winning the whole fight, then he kind of gets dropped. It's exciting. People are like, whoa, shit. If I was watching home, I'd be like, damn. And then I look at him and he's standing up smiling like, come on, motherfucker. Shit, I got scared. So I think Morrell's like, what the fuck? So I think these are the kind of fights that the fans deserve. They want to be entertained.
Benavidez, yeah, he won it by decision. And then, that one knockdown, that was a knockdown. Then he had that point deducted, Morrell did. So it came out to a 9-8 round, so it's not going to affect him.
What is it? Hey, Daz, Alicia, what y'all think of the fight? What it do? It was amazing. I think it was amazing.
What do you think of the fight?
It was amazing. It's always good.
What happened?
What do you think? I think I would love to see a rematch.
He called me a thief. He called me a thief, man. And I'm back in shit here.
Are you a thief?
Huh? Hey, I wish I could trade checks with you guys. I wish I could trade checks with both of you.
Oh, let's bring them.
I would never sign with it.
No, pues me siento súper contento con el trabajo realizado. No salió como teníamos pensado, se preparó bien. Como siempre se ha dicho, solamente un David se trae victorioso. En este momento fue él. Felicidades para él y para su equipo de trabajo. Y nada, simplemente seguir trabajando, seguir esforzándonos más y para obtener la victoria en un futuro cercano. Me tardé un poco me tardé en reaccionar. Me tardé en reaccionar y creo que ese fue uno de los errores que cometí en este combate, pero nada, simplemente sucedió. Fue cuando básicamente mejor me sentí los últimos 3 rounds y pero demasiado tarde.
Benavidez is a monster. I hope Benavidez.
Who would you like to see him fight next?
Huh?
Who would you like to see him fight next?
Canelo, Benavidez. Both of them.
Boxing trainer Robert Garcia viewed Benavidez versus Morrell as an exciting matchup. However, he favored Benavidez because of his greater experience. He was enthusiastic about the fight happening now with both fighters in their prime.
Not even marinated yet, you know, but they're two monsters, like monsters, you know what I mean?
If the Canelo fight's not there, then that's a fight that I would like to see. Definitely, 100%.
With Benavidez, right, the knock on him, what they try saying is, well, he hasn't beat no one, and he's bigger than everybody, and that's why he wins, right? That's what they say. Morrell's bigger than David.
Yeah,
I tell people, don't believe that 6'1" stuff that they say on Boxer. He's a legit 6'3".
It'll just be a great fight because Morrell has great power, great. You know, he's hungry. He wants to be huge in boxing. So I really, I really think it'll make it a good fight. I still pick Benavidez.
Reflected on how Morrell's public image might have shifted after that fight, but stood by the idea that his talent was still there and there was potential for him to perform better in the future.
And I think massive respect to him for taking it. It's a great fight. Great fight. Who do you favour? From what I saw last time, Benavidez. But leading up to, that was the first time I've seen Morrell in the flesh, and I really rated him going into that fight. He didn't impress me at all in that fight. But, you know, it could have been a bad performance, but he's a very good fighter.
RAVKIC weigh-in fight saying that if Morrell stayed calm in the first 6 to 8 rounds, he had a good chance of winning. He advised Morrell not to be too aggressive, but to focus on picking his shots, and moving Kiz expected the fight to be close, but believed Morrell could stick to his plan and secure the win.
If he could stay composed and stay calm during the first 6 to 8 rounds, because Benavidez, all he has is pressure, and he eventually will slow down. So stay composed, stay calm, pick your shots, and move, box, because he could box and move. Don't be the aggressor. I think he could pull it off.
Tim Bradley believed David Morrell still lacked the experience to compete at the highest level, saying he wasn't impressed with Morrell's recent performance. Bradley thought Benavidez had the upper hand, not just because of his pressure-fighting style, but also his ability to box and move when needed. He believed Morrell would struggle with Benz's versatility, as the former champion could adapt his style and do a bit of everything in the ring, making him a tough challenge for Morrell.
Morrell still needs a little bit more seasoning, to be honest with you. I wasn't too fond of his last fight.
Part of why
I really
was
wasn't.
Benavidez. Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't too fond. Benavidez can do a little bit of everything. We only see him as being a pressure type of assassin type of guy, throwing quick combinations and really, just stepping on the gas and squashing guys. But, he can move and box if he wants to as well.
Jesse Hart pointed out some weaknesses in Morrell's last fight, especially his tendency to slow down after the 9th round. Hart mentioned that Morrell became more vulnerable to getting hit if an opponent landed the right shot. He also raised concerns about Morrell's habits outside the ring and wondered if they might eventually affect his performance. Hart was keeping a close eye on whether Morrell had addressed these issues, believing Benavidez could exploit these weaknesses in their upcoming fight.
Dave Morrell, I'm looking, has he grown? Can we get him? That last fight, I seen a lot of weaknesses in him. A lot of weaknesses. I'm looking at have he grown from that fight that he went 12 rounds for the first time in his ever career. You know what I mean? Around the 9th, I seen he start slowing down. I seen you can touch him on his, you can clip him if you get him at the right time. He slows down around about the 9th round. And David Benavidez, his living habits outside the ring, did that catch up to him? I'm watching for all that. And I'll be looking February 1st to see if my prediction is right.
Trainer Buddy McGirt acknowledged that while Morrell is a good boxer, the fight will get more interesting. After a few rounds, he explained that Benavidez tends to take a little time to adjust, but once he does his rapid combinations, could create serious problems for Morrell.
I think it's going to be an interesting fight, man. I think that both guys are really going to be tested because, Morrell's a good boxer. But I think that the later rounds is really going to tell. Because, Benavidez, it takes him a few rounds to get going. But once he gets going and he figures out your rhythm, you got problems. Once you start letting those 20-punch combinations go, you got problems. So it's going to be an interesting fight.
Moreover, David confronted Morrell, questioning his disrespect and challenging his actions. He asserted his dominance by saying, "I will break your mouth."
Morrell's Morrell's got a great, a a great staff for, a southpaw. He boxes well. He's got my man Ronnie Shields in his corner. I know Ronnie's going to have him ready. But Benavidez is always comes in ready. So it's going to be, I think after the 5th round, that's when the fight's really going to get interesting. The first 4 or 5, it's going to be more like a chess match. After the 5th round, somebody's going to have somebody figured out. And that's when it's going to get hot in the kitchen.
David Benavidez called out Morrell, saying all the strategies being used are useless. He was confident, doesn't see Morrell as a real threat, and says he'll show them how it's done in the ring.
He's trying to act hard, man, but whatever it is what it is. On February 1st, I'm going in there. We'll break your mouth.
¿Cómo fue?
I'm going to break your mouth.
No te entiendo, dime.